MotoGP Le Mans, France, is not just an arena for speed. Amid the chaos of weather and slippery tracks, one figure stands tall with a cool head and an extraordinary strategy: Marc Marquez. The main race at the Bugatti circuit became the stage for the 8-time world champion's transformation, leaving his former fierce rival Andrea Dovizioso gaping in disbelief. So what made Marquez's performance so surprising and undeniable this time around? Let's discuss. In a race covered in gray clouds and unpredictable rain, Marquez did not appear as usual. There were no reckless maneuvers, no extreme overtaking in sharp corners. What we saw was a cool head on the Desmosedici GP25. Marc knew when to push and when to wait. Starting from a strategic position, Marquez took a safe step when the rain started to fall. Instead of blindly chasing race leader Johann Zarko, he maintained his rhythm, focused on tire grip and avoided taking risks. When the gap to Zarko was 8 seconds, Marquez tried to push. But when he saw that the opportunity was not safe enough, he decided to hold back and secure his position. If this was the old Marc, he would have gone all out. But this time he waited. That is not luck, that is intelligence, continued Dovizioso. The result? Second place. Not a victory, but more significant than a podium. Amidst a series of incidents that took out big names like Pecco Bagnaia, Fabio Quartararo, and even his own brother Alex Marquez, Marc stood tall. More than that, he won the 2025 MotoGP championship with 171 points. A big leap after failing to finish in Austin and Jerez because he was too aggressive. Now Marc has changed. He is no longer fighting for every corner. He is fighting for the world title. This is no longer about racing fast and being a hero for a day. This is about consistency, self-control, and long-term strategy, said Marco Rigamonti, Marquez's crew chief, with a twinkle in his eye. The Le Mans circuit witnessed a historic moment. Johann Zarko finally took his first MotoGP victory, and more than that, he did it on home soil. There was an explosion of emotion on the grandstands as the checkered flag waved, bringing home the pride that the French have been waiting for over 7 decades. Since Pierre Monaret's last victory in 1954, no home rider had won the premier class race in France, until Zarko broke the curse. But behind the euphoria of Zarko's victory, one name was still stealing the limelight. A figure who, although not on the top step of the podium this time, has emerged as the main character in the great story of this season: Marc Marquez. Marquez may not have finished first, but the way he controlled the race from start to finish showed a different level of dominance. Not only was Marquez fast, but he seemed to read the race like an open book. He knew when to push, when to wait, and when to make everyone around him feel hopeless. His maneuvers were precise, his calculations sharp, and his mentality unwavering. No wonder the praise came from all corners of the paddock, including the most influential figure at the Borgo Panigale headquarters, Ducati course general manager Gigi Dall'Igna. The man not known for his praise could not hide his admiration for his new rider. "I was really touched," said Dall'Igna, almost stuttering when interviewed after the race. Marc not only knows this bike inside out, but he also knows how to use it in the crucial moments. He knows when to attack, when to defend, and most importantly, he knows how to stay emotionally stable under pressure. He is not only a great rider, he is a leader on the track. Not just a star in the main race, Marc Marquez has now become a true ruler of the MotoGP weekend, including the sprint race that will increasingly determine the direction of the title race. In this short, brutal battle, Marquez once again showed his fangs. One of the most striking moments came when he defeated Fabio Quartararo, not just with raw speed, but in a duel full of intelligence, calculation, and extraordinary composure. He knows when to attack, when to wait, and when to take risks, as if he reads the race like an open book. With 6 sprint wins and 3 main race victories in just the first few rounds of the season, it's not just impressive, it's history. Marquez's dominance has not only added to his trophy cabinet, it has completely transformed his status. From a rider once doubted after a period of injury to Ducati's new icon, a symbol of unwavering power. The aura of confidence and superiority that he exudes was palpable from day one of the race weekend. In FP1, when most riders were still finding their rhythm, Marquez immediately set the fastest time. His success not only proved that he was fast, but also demonstrated his extraordinary ability to understand the character of the bike, adapt to track conditions, and maintain a stable racing rhythm. The atmosphere in the Ducati paddock has changed from one of tension and stress to one of pride and confidence. The team, The mechanics and even top engineers like Gigi Dall'Igna are beginning to see Marquez as the new center of gravity in Ducati's great project. His presence brings a new spirit and strengthens the belief that they are witnessing the birth of a new chapter in the history of MotoGP dominance, with Marc Marquez as the main figure. Andrea Dovizioso, the figure who was once Marc Marquez's closest rival for the World Championship title, now speaks in a tone that cannot be misinterpreted. As someone who has been wheel-to-wheel with Marquez time and time again in iconic duels that are still etched in the minds of MotoGP fans, Dovi knows only too well the ferocity of the Cervera rider. But this time his tone was different. There was admiration, there was concern, even a little fear. The current Marc has everything: undeniable speed, years of experience, an increasingly mature racing intelligence and, most strikingly, incredible emotional control, said Dovizioso in an exclusive interview. If he continues to perform like this, I think all the other riders will have to be really careful. He's not just fast anymore. He's become a true champion in the most complete sense of the word. Dovizioso didn't stop there. He admitted that the changes he's seen in Marc Marquez this season have exceeded his expectations. I never thought I'd see Marc like this, Dovi continued, looking a little stunned as he expressed his thoughts. We all know that he has always been aggressive and fast since his debut in the Premier class. But now he also seems wise, patient, and calculating. He knows when to attack, when to wait, and when to control the race. This is the most dangerous Marc Marquez of his career. According to Dovizioso, the combination of Marquez's naturally explosive character and his new maturity has created a version of Marquez that has never existed before. A rider who conquers his opponents not only with speed, but also with composure, strategic calculation, and mental strength. When he was young, he could drive us all crazy on the track. But then he could still make mistakes. And now, he's almost flawless. He's learned from all his past injuries. He's not only stronger, he's smarter. And that's the scariest thing, said Dovizioso, concluding his statement with a tone that reflected the respect he had for the 8-time world champion. The road to a 9th world championship title is a long one, full of challenges from young rivals hungry for glory, tracks full of traps and relentless pressure from a world waiting for the king to fall. But one thing is certain from the start of the 2025 MotoGP season: Marc Marquez is not finished. On the contrary, he is back. Not just present, but rising as a new figure, stronger physically, more mature mentally and deadlier strategically. On the fierce and powerful Desmacedesai GP25, Marquez is not just riding the fastest machine on the track. He is riding a historic opportunity, igniting the embers of an ambition that in the past has only been held back by injury and technical limitations. Now all that is but a shadow. What lies ahead is an evolved version of a living legend, a rider who not only wants to win, but wants to conquer the MotoGP main stage once more and write the final chapter of his unfinished story of glory. This season every corner seems to be a declaration that Marc Marquez never left. He was just waiting for his time to return. And now that time has come. One thing is undeniable: as long as Marc Marquez's name is on the grid, no one is safe. What makes Marc Marquez's appearance at the 2025 Sierra Leonean Leone's Mans MotoGP so surprising? Write your thoughts below.